Sometimes you lose someone, but the worst part is never knowing why they left. For Emily Parker, life fell apart on an ordinary Tuesday morning. She walked into the kitchen, reached for her coffee, and noticed something. Daniel was gone. At first, she thought it was a joke. Maybe he had left early. Maybe he had an important meeting. But then her eyes landed on the empty shoe rack by the door. No jacket, no suitcase, no wallet. His keys were gone. Everything was gone. Her heart pounded. She grabbed her phone and called Daniel. "The number you have dialed is no longer in service." Her legs trembled. There had to be a note, an explanation. She ran to the dining table, checked the kitchen, the bathroom. But there was nothing. Daniel had vanished like a ghost. Hours passed, days, weeks. Still, no trace of Daniel. She went to the police at first, filed a missing persons report, but it quickly became clear that Daniel had left of his own free will. She considered every possibility. Had he been kidnapped? Was he in trouble? Or did he just want to leave? But the endless questions only made his absence more unbearable. Finally, Emily made a decision. She had to accept that Daniel was never coming back, and over time, everything changed. Emily became someone else. When Daniel left, Emily's world shattered, but over time, she found a way to carry the pain. She had to. For months, waking up felt like torture, but eventually, she learned how to live again. She got a new job at a marketing agency. She became stronger, more independent. She made new friends. She rebuilt her life. And most importantly, she met someone new, Mark, a man who saw her pain, understood her struggles, and somehow made her smile again. At first, Emily was terrified to let him in. Her heart still carried the weight of the past. But Mark was patient. He gave her time. He gave her trust. And finally, she let herself love again. She even accepted his marriage proposal. A new life was waiting for her. Mark and Emily had bought a house together, ready to start fresh. Emily thought she had finally moved on from the ghosts of her past. But life had other plans, and just as she was planning her future, her phone rang. The phone rang as Emily was sorting through wedding invitations. An unknown number. "Ms. Parker?" Her breath caught. No one had called her that in years. "Yes? This is Seattle Mercy Hospital. A patient listed you as their emergency contact." Emily frowned. That had to be a mistake. "I think you have the wrong person. I'm not anyone's emergency contact." Then the words that froze her entire world. "The patient's name is Daniel Parker." Emily felt the blood drain from her face. Daniel, the man who had disappeared like a ghost, was now lying in a hospital bed, waiting for her. But why? And more importantly, why had he still listed her as his emergency contact? When Emily arrived at the hospital, her emotions were in chaos. Anger, fear, curiosity, and something else. She stepped into the hospital room, and there he was, Daniel. He looked different, tired, scarred, but it was still him. Emily took a deep breath. "Why did you call me?" she asked, her voice shaking. Daniel looked away, his face filled with regret. "Because," he started, struggling to find the words. Emily's eyes burned with unshed tears. "Where did you go, Daniel? Why?" And finally, he told her the truth. Daniel looked at Emily, exhaling deeply. The truth had been buried for too long. "There's something I never told you, Emily. That night, I had no choice but to leave." "That's a lie," Emily snapped, her anger boiling over. "You had a choice. You just left." Daniel's eyes filled with pain. "If I had stayed, you would have been in danger." Emily's breath hitched. "What danger?" Daniel swallowed hard. "I owed money, Emily, a lot of money, and if they had found me, they would have found you too. Emily's mind reeled. All these years, she had thought he had abandoned her, but the truth was far worse. So you ran. Her voice was quiet now, almost broken. Daniel nodded. I left to protect you. Tears welled in Emily's eyes. You didn't protect me. You destroyed me. But then, Daniel confessed something else. I should never tell you this, but I never really left, Emily. I've always been watching. I never stopped loving you. Emily's heart pounded. What? Daniel continued. I just needed to know you were safe, even if I couldn't be part of your life. Emily stared at him. The man she had once loved, the man who had left her in ruins, was now asking her to understand. Could she forgive him? After all this time, was there still love left? Daniel looked into her eyes. If you had one more chance, would you choose me again? Emily took a deep breath. Because now she wasn't just choosing between Daniel and the past. She was choosing between Daniel and her new life. Mark, or the ghost of the man she once loved? Could she walk away from everything she had built? Or was there still a part of her that belonged to Daniel? A choice had to be made, her heart or her mind, and she gave her answer, but only she knew what it was. And that brings us to the end of this story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications for more inspiring stories.